A deck of playing cards is thoroughly mixed. You provide the participant with a very professional looking stool and you ask them for a number between 1 and 10. Let's say the participant happens to say the number 6. You have them take the deck, they deal it down 6 cards. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. Exactly where they stopped, on the Jack of Clubs. And yet, from the very beginning, inside the card box, you had a prediction. And that prediction reads, wait, that's the wrong prediction. You have a prediction that reads the Jack of Clubs. Fluids start shooting everywhere. You're making babies, you're slapping male butts, all because of a simple card trick. Now, the reason I titled this video, The Trick That Can't Be Explained, is because there's sort of a loosey-goosey vibe when it comes to this trick. There's a lot of different ways to perform it. There's a lot of different ways to get into it, to get out of it. There's ways that you're gonna have to learn in a trial by fire. Now, on the PigCake Magic Academy, the home of over 1,600 videos going over card stuff, coin stuff, everything you need to become the best magician you could possibly be, all for the low price of $5 a month, and I'm always uploading new content. I do explain the trick that cannot be explained and different ways to go about it, but this is a simplified method that usually works without you having to riff. Ordinarily, when it comes to a trick like this, you're really on your feet depending on the situation that the participant puts you in. So let's go over this simple trick and go over different ways to go about it in case things go spectacularly wrong. You put a prediction inside of the card box or anywhere that you want, and you put that card in the 7th position. Now, you could do this from a shuffled deck of playing cards. All you have to do is spot your card. In this case, my card is the Jack of Clubs. I'm gonna push off a group of 3 and then push off another group of 3 and cut that directly to the back. Now, that card is gonna be in the 7th position. That was 8, that's 7. Now, it doesn't have to be in the 7th position, as we're gonna cover in a little bit. However, sorry, the bitches were calling. But we're putting it there because that is the likely psychological force. If you have a person name a number between 1 and 10, the odds are that they're going to name 7. And if they don't name 7, we'll talk about what happens. But in the case they name something like 6, all you have to do is deal down to the 6th card, and the next card is going to be your force card. If they say 7, guess what? That card is your force card. If they say 8, well, we just deal 8 cards and we're going to go through a very clever ruse. We're going to ask them if they want to deal some cards back. You want to deal 1 back? If they say yes, that's great because now your card is on top. If you start to see them go hesitant, you go, I'll tell you what, let's make this completely random. Deal 1 card back and then cut off as many cards as you want. This is a brilliant touch by Peter Turner, where now they could cut off as many cards they want or as little cards they want, and you've essentially cross-cut forced them. I really do hate Peter for being so clever, but this is a fantastic ruse. Now, let's say they name a smaller number. Let's say they go for 3. Well, that's fine. You deal 3 cards on a table. You know that your card is 4 cards away, so you just simply ask them, I'll tell you what, name me another small number. This time, why don't we do it between 1 and 5? If they say 3 again, guess what? You're good. If they say 4, guess what? You're good. If they say 2, that's great. We're 1 card away. We do the exact same ruse as before. Do you want to deal 1? I'll tell you what. No, do you want to deal 1 and then cut off some? Let's do that. Let's make it random. They deal 1, they cut off as many cards as they want, and guess what? You're in it. Even if they say 1 card, that's fine. You could always get back to that situation. Name me another small number. I'll tell you what, this time between 1 and 5. 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're in it. As long as this card remains either in this pile or in this pile, you're good to go. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in the 7th position. You could have this card in the 10th position and do the exact same thing. We're just going to ask them for a series of numbers, limiting them to when they put this card in an advantageous position. Even if you go past your stack, you could just do the exact same ruse as before. Do you want to deal some more cards back? I'll tell you what, let's make this random. Put 2 cards back and cut the cards anywhere you want. 1, 2, and they cut the cards anywhere they want, and now you're back in it. What we're doing here is essentially controlling them. They're not aware of it, but we're inside of their heads. They also don't know where you're going. They really don't know where they're going in life either. They're willing participants for a card trick. You think they're smart people? So by putting that card 7th from the top of the deck, you're putting yourself in a psychological advantage. Even if they don't, what are they going to say? They're going to say 5, they're going to say 6, they're going to say 7. You're good to go regardless. You see, the trick can be explained, and what this teaches you is the ability to riff. It teaches you the ability to play around and to work with them. It keeps you on your toes. So the trick that can't be explained can be explained. And you could put the prediction anywhere you want. You could have it written on your hand. You could tattoo it on the inside of your finger and then show off to the ladies why you've never seen a woman naked. My brand new trick in a pinch is out with Peter Turner. We essentially solved the problem with the new iOS update that cucks all the calculators. And the trick is everywhere. The trick is everywhere. You could get it from Penguin Magic. You could get it from Murphy's. You could get it from some local rinky-dink magic shop. It's there. So if you're interested in finding out how to solve the problem with iOS and some other ideas that work with any calculator, check it out. And it's also a really funny name.
I see you again, when 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 I see you again.